when this kind of stuff happens in America, obviously, you know, we don't even bat an eye anymore. I'm a Columbine kid. You know, we went through, when I say a Columbine kid, I'm a kid that went to high school the same age as, you know, the Columbine shooters and the Columbine victims. And we just don't give a shit. We don't care. When Sandy Hook happened, Sandy Hook should have been the last straw. It should have been one of those, like, there's a turning point, not a turning point, but there's a alternate reality where we cared about our children and cared about human beings, and we did something to stop this, which would be sensible, reasonable gun control. We're not asking for, you know, and I like guns. Guns are fun. Guns are cool. But guns are tools, and they need to be respected, and you need to be in the right frame of mind to be around them or handle them, just like you need to be in the right frame of mind to be behind the wheel of a car and not be, you know, intoxicated or mentally ill, or, you know, have the strong urge and desire to run people over in the middle of the street. You have to have a license and pass the test in America to drive a motor vehicle. But because of the power of the gun lobbies, we don't dare apply that kind of regulation to firearms, whose only purpose, you know, is to murder people. And we are willing. This is the deal that we've made because of the gun lobbies. You know, buying off our politicians. This is the deal that we've made with capital to literally sacrifice our children on the altar of capital. It might as well be the altar of Moloch. And we sacrifice our children on the altar of capital to this thing. And when that's not good enough, we sacrifice children around the world. We sacrifice Palestinian children on this same altar, because these same lobbyists, the defense lobby, has to keep the production of weapons going so we can murder more people, so we can sacrifice their children and our children. For what? For what? I said this on my my co-host podcast. You know, this isn't even the Roman Empire where a couple of us, you know, every day are going to get murdered for capital so everybody else can live, you know, a cushy life. It's not the Hunger Games where we're pledging tribute. We get nothing out of the deal. We get absolutely screwed. We get the ability to commute an hour to work and sit in our wage cage cubicle if we're lucky, if we're fortunate enough and check the right societal boxes, like we were born in the right zip code, had the quote-unquote proper upbringing, attended the right colleges. Then we get to have our labor exploited for the rest of our lives until we fade back into the earth. That is the deal that we're making. And it is a terrible, raw deal. And nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to care about these kids. Nobody seems to care about the gun violence on the street. But there is something that they will care about. There is something that will get, if there is a chance to punch, not up, but punch down or sideways to a minority or oppressed group, we damn sure will take that route every time. So let's get into this video here. Who was Robin Westman, the Minnesota school shooter?
Court records show that she, the mother here, applied for a name change for her then son back in 2019. She wanted to change his name from Robert to Robin, and that's because documents say Westman identified as female and wanted the name change to reflect that. Police say they are also right now aware of a manifesto that was out there at one point on YouTube today. That manifesto, Chief Brian O'Hara said, apparently showed the suspect at the church, at the school this morning, and included what they are characterizing as disturbing writings. The FBI has worked to get that taken down from YouTube, so it is not.
Is that right? Is that fucking right? Fox News, Fox 9 affiliate in Minnesota. So you want to spend a good amount of time. This is 2 minutes and 13. Let's hear them out. Before I absolutely crash out on this thing, we got a minute and left. Let's hear this. And then that way I can have a righteous crash out.
And in the coming days and weeks, we could know more about what evidence those investigators seized this afternoon. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Mike, thank you. Now, as we hit.
Yeah, giving you all the news you could use. Now, I'm about to lose my mind because we just saw there in 2 minutes and 30 something seconds, they made sure to spend half the time on that damn news blip about how the shooter was trans. The shooter was a male to female transition. But when it came to their manifesto, when they wanted to talk about their manifesto, all of a sudden it was just so disturbing. It was so disturbing that we couldn't talk anything about it. Now, let's look at some of the comments here. Let's look at the comments on this YouTube vid that we just saw. Who gives a F about that demon? Yeah, I agree. It was a sick dude. Okay, we're going to talk about that. This is what happens when we're okay with the deranged POS and stop the BS. Mom should be charged an accessory. Let's see here. What else? Nice transphobia can we get here? He, not her. Now, that being said, they spent that whole time, at least half that video, talking about the shooter's gender identity, but when it came to the manifesto, all of a sudden they got nothing to say. But you know what I do? I do, because I can use Google. I guess I can be the newsman today. Let's take a look at Robin Westman's manifesto. Let's see what it had to say. All right. So we're not going to get into it either. I don't have 6 minutes and 17 seconds to wait for you to actually get into the meat of the story. Let's use our eye holes and let's read what it has to say. The person on the video, we're talking about the shooter, we're talking about Robin Westman, flashed a white supremacy sign, said racial slurs, and showed a shirt with the patch of the old Minnesota flag and the phrase, "Do it before the anxiety kicks in." The 10 or so names written on Westman's arsenal alluded to those responsible for the massacres at Sandy Hook Elementary, the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, and the mass shootings in Christchurch in New Zealand. Also written on the weaponry were references to the Holocaust and calls for Israel to fall and burn. A journal written in what seems to be Cyrillic, I don't know what a Cyrillic character is, but who cares, also includes a hand-drawn map of the church. The person in the video holds a smoke bomb, which police say was used in the attack. Now, this was a groiper. This was a racist groiper. This had nothing to do with being trans. This was an anti-Semitic, racist groiper. This was when I say one of y'all, the people who wanted to make these fly comments about he, not her, and he was Robert Westman. That's your person. That's your. I keep wanting to say dude, but I don't even want to misgender this person, even in death. But that's your quote unquote guy. They were a groiper, white supremacist, racist. Chalk another one up for white guys shooting up schools. It had nothing to do with being trans. White men have the high score. They have run up the score on this type of bullshit. And we don't want to talk about that. So if we were to take this same logic that these people are putting in the comments, talking about, oh, trans is a sickness, oh, these people are mentally ill, oh, we got to get them gone, oh, their parents should be an accessory to murder, then why can't we say the same thing about white men? They quickly talk about if a black person does a crime, how it's the culture. But I'm not seeing anybody but white men out here shooting up schools. And I don't even believe this. What I'm saying right now, I'm saying cynically. Obviously, I don't believe this literally. But all of a sudden, these fucks, all of a sudden, they recognize gender identity when it's something they want to use as a weapon to push and beat down an oppressed class of people, but they don't want to deal with the actual reasons why this violence takes place. It is your white supremacy culture, and it is your access to guns. Straight up. That's exactly what it is. Anything else, we're sitting around here blind to ourselves, bullshit, and they know this. And they know this. That's why when it's a straight up white guy with a terrible manifesto saying, I want to kill all children and brown children, and I want to murder all the Jews, all of a sudden, when there's nothing left to say, when it's just one more white guy doing white guy stuff, all of a sudden it's thoughts and prayers. Must be mental health. When you don't even want to do Medicare for all, so you don't even want to talk about mental health, but thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Now they got something else they can hang their hat on besides thoughts and prayers. When They don't even believe. All of a sudden, again, they believe now in a gender identity that somehow like, oh, it's because they were trans why they did this. Where a day ago, these same fuckers would have told that kid right to her face, you are just a boy pretending to be a girl. But all of a sudden now that they've done some kind of violence that they can pin this on to hurt people, posthumously after the fact of this tragedy, now all of a sudden they want to talk about how trans is real. How trans people actually exist, and not only do they exist, they have to be put down. I hate this place. I hate this place. I hate how everybody's such a liar. I hate how cynical everyone is. I hate how they just lie to your face and pretend that you have the brain of a goldfish and you don't remember what these fuckers said just yesterday. Well, I don't. I remember. When you say some bullshit to me, I hold on to it. I don't fucking forget. Let's talk about this. We got a chud in the chat, y'all. I was just trying to be nice. He said he come in here with his egg name. Like, you could tell that he's been banned from Twitch before. And I love this for me. This is my wheelhouse. I love this for me. So you come in here with this garbage name that obviously you've been banned before, so you had to just make up something really quick. And you want to talk trash about trans people and call them transformers. Okay, buddy. So in your worldview, this was not a woman. This was just another white man. So why aren't we just banning white men? Which I'm going to assume that you're one of them. I'll wait. That's okay. You want to derail the show? And try to take it over? Go right ahead. The floor is yours. As fast as you can type. Come and get it.
Which Epstein got.
And I'm not going to ban you either. I know you're still in here. I know I can see you in here. I'm not going to ban you because you're my pet. I love a pet. I love combat. I love the smoke. I love it rhetorically. I love it physically. I ain't afraid of you at all. Please, bring them in here. Oh, yes. 13% of the population cause 50% of the... Okay, so that's another racist dog whistle. Again, so I can't send... Again, so tell me why I'm afraid. My wife works at a school, right? My wife works at a school. So the number one threat to her is by your logic, not mine, the number one threat to her is a white man, which again, I'm going to assume you are in here talking this bullshit. So tell me why everything that you're trying to put forth should not be flipped around and directed back to you. Shouldn't we be hunting you down like a dog and putting you down like an animal right now? Please tell me. I need to know, because this is your logic, not mine. You made it all the way to the end. Thanks for walking to the edge with me. If you felt something stir, go ahead and like and subscribe and leave your impact in the comments. You can follow me live on Twitch at Lumencast, where the sanctuary unfolds in real time. And if you're ready to kick it up a notch, take it a step further, our Patreon is now open. Come on in.